Application-aware networks are becoming critical in the face of what we're seeing as an application explosion in the world today, right? And I think maybe there are people out there who said, "Oh, I could have predicted this," but 2 years ago, I don't think anyone could have predicted just the breadth of applications that have been deployed and the rate of change associated with them, right? New applications are coming out every week, new versions of applications, and in response to that, what customers are doing and what vendors to those customers are doing is building intelligence into the networks, and that intelligence is enabling customers to identify those applications at a very granular level, even at a flow level. So, the difference between Facebook, just going to Facebook and playing games over Facebook, you need to be able to differentiate at that level, and then apply policies based on that, whether it's around quality of service or security, to really take control over those applications running over my network. What Mu Dynamics does is we provide a very, very differentiated approach to testing to ensure that the policies on that network are behaving appropriately. What we are able to do is to quickly grab actual application traffic and rapidly transform that into test assets. So when a new application appears on your network, you're able to start testing that literally in minutes. And very, very different approach to the traditional sort of test tool vendor approach of I'll write test cases for you, I'll have them for you in 6 months. People don't have 6 months. The applications that are impacting my network are doing so today. They may not even be around 6 months from now. So again, the ability to grab those applications rapidly, start testing immediately to understand, are the policies on my network doing the right things from a quality of service perspective, from a security perspective, we're really the only solution out there that enables them to do that. When you talk about how Mu is different than other solutions out there, really it's in our approach to test case creation. So with a lot of traditional kind of legacy test tools, the approach has been the test tool vendor will build those test cases, over the period of several months and then supply those to a customer to be able to run. The challenge, given how rapidly things are evolving on networks today, is that 6 months from now, the applications that are important to me today may not even be important to me at all. And so I don't have that lag time. What Mu does is it takes actual application traffic and rapidly transforms that into test assets. So customers are literally able to start testing in minutes as opposed to having to wait months to be able to start testing. And as a result of that, can start testing and validating whether their policies are working from a quality of service and security perspective immediately. Let's take an application like Angry Birds, right? So let's say the next version of that comes out, and we'll call it Angry Cows or Angry Monkeys. It shows up on my network. I need to start to understand what the impact of that's going to be immediately, and whether my policies are detecting it and doing the right things with that application. So with Mu, you'd be able to grab that application, Angry Monkeys, start running it immediately and understanding whether my policies are doing the right thing. In the old world, I'd have to wait 6 months for my test vendor to supply me with Angry Monkeys, and by then we're on to Angry Penguins, right? It doesn't even matter anymore. So there are really 3 primary benefits. The first is just rapid shrinkage around the test case creation process, which dramatically accelerates deployment time, right? So, test case creation can end up being 90% of the time associated with dev and QA. We're shrinking that down. Customers are seeing it by more than 95% reductions in that kind of time. And that's easy to see, right? Instead of having to wait months, I'm actually doing it in minutes, so it can be even more dramatic than that. The second is I get a much higher quality deployment out of my network, right? And that's critical as well, right? So I'm using actual traffic, right? This is recreated traffic. It's not synthetic. And so I'm getting an actual view of what the impact of these applications are on my network and are taking the right appropriate steps. And then the third, which is perhaps the most important of all, is just a much better end user experience, right? So whether I'm an enterprise and I have people in my organization and their experience with applications, or I'm a service provider and it's my end customer who wants that experience with the application, we're really ensuring that it's a much more positive experience in the face of very rapid change. So in addition to customers being able to kind of grab that actual application traffic and quickly transform it into test assets, we have a site where all these test assets live, and we've created it and we populated it with the most popular applications and the most current version of those applications. So customers, we're condensing that time even further. All they have to do is go to the site, Test Cloud, which is up on the cloud, grab those test assets and start to run them. So there are drivers that are causing service providers to want to be able to discriminate and really understand the specifics of applications. So there's a lot of talk in the press today around net neutrality, and as that unfolds, the need to be able to really understand which applications are running over my network becomes critical. Issues like URL filtering, lawful intercept, data loss prevention. These are all kind of areas and functions that service providers are embedding into their networks and need to be able to test with actual application traffic. So Mu offers 3 core benefits to our customers. We dramatically reduce the time it takes to deploy. We dramatically increase the quality of that deployment by using real application traffic for the purposes of test, which at the end of the day delivers a much higher end user experience for your customers.